Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. This is Earl. Congratulations if you joined us from last week when we were working on Earl. We put the new exhaust system on Earl, partly new exhaust. We put the new pipe on, we changed Earl's oil, and we put a new steering wheel on Earl. Now, what we're gonna be doing today, our hydraulic fluid looks like this. That is not correct. Let me put my hand up here so you can see it. That's not correct, it's milky. So why would hydraulic fluid be milky? Post a comment down there, guys. Come along today, we're gonna talk to you a little bit about this and we're gonna show you the fix for an old tractor like this. It's very common for the hydraulic fluid to get milky. Come along, let's have some fun and learn something together, all right? Woo!
I ain't afraid of work, I ain't afraid of play, I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life, times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
All right, friends, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. So this is Earl. Earl the tractor is a circa 1957 to 1962 Model 65. It's got the Continental gas engine in it, but all the transmission and stuff is just about the same as the old Massey Ferguson 135s, the 240s. They're all just about the same, and they all have just about the same problem. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drain the hydraulic fluid out of here, and you're going to see just how milky it is. And the problem is something so very simple. Booties. Boots, these rubber boots, that's the problem, okay? So what we've got here is dry rotted, cracked old rubber boots. We'll go ahead and slip one of them off for you. So this is the old rubber boot. The old rubber boot, this is the new rubber boot. See a difference? See what's happening? Water is plugging this guy up. And the simple solution to this problem, we might want to put a little bit of grease inside here too. So we'll pump a few squirts of grease in with our grease gun. Got the grease in, we're gonna rub it in a little bit with our fingers. Get yourself a rag handy. Even having the grease on it's really gonna help. So we're gonna slip that on. You want a little bit of grease in that right there on that end because it's gotta slip over top of the shifter, and you can see how tight that is compared to the old one. Where'd the old one go? Look at this. It's not getting a seal. That is a good seal. That is a bad seal. So we'll just slip this very simply right over top of the shift knob. There are two shifters on this. There's one that goes to high and low and start, and then one for the gear selector. So we'll go ahead and get that installed. We'll get you a good close-up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drain the hydraulic fluid. There are two plugs. There's one in the rear and there's one in the front, okay? So we'll fill from this area right here, and we'll check our hydraulic fluid on the other side. That is the source of your water 99% of the time, and water is what's making it milky. So let's get busy here. What I'm using here is just a storage tote, and I know this guy is on pretty tight, so I'm gonna have to get in here with the impact. There it goes, just loosen it up. Wait till you see how nasty and milky this stuff is. It looks bad. Definitely not prolonging the life, and most of the water should be on the bottom, so we should see water first and then milk. Ooh, look at that. That is just, look at that. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, this is magnetic on the tip, and it is a little bit of metal on there, little metal flakies. So now we're draining the rear, and that's what the hydraulic fluid looks like in the rear. Gross, dude. All right, guys, here's what I got. So I took both drain plugs out, drained all the fluid. Here's what the the tranny fluid looked like. It was just milk, just milky. Not so bad though. No real rust or anything that I could see. Everything looks really clean, so the tractor's good to go. I've got this awesome pump. This is called a McNaught 5-gallon bucket pump, or bucket pump. Oh, what is it? BOP. And all you do is squeeze this trigger, and it pumps in your hydraulic fluid. Super handy. This takes 8 full gallons of hydraulic fluid. So all in all, total in this repair, I have about 120 bucks, something like that. Stick around, we're gonna take you around the other side and I'll show you how to slip on a new shifter boot. There are 3 points of entry for water. You need to keep these old tractors in a shed if you possibly can. The 2 points on the front, there's also a little knob right here where you I guess you hit the brake. What is it? I think it's PTO shaft. Anyway, there's a rubber boot on that critter back there, and it also enters through the lift arms right here. So keep your lift arms lubricated, and that'll keep most of the water out. These two boots need to be fresh and nice, and that boot back there needs to be fresh and nice, or just keep your tractor in a shed, or they're gonna get water and their transmission's gonna turn into a milkshake. Not cool. So on these tractors, here is where you check your transmission fluid. The dipstick has about had it right here. However, you can still see the dipstick, and the dipstick is showing full, so we're good to go. Awesome. This normally will have a hook on it, and it goes right down in here. Some of the newer tractors have an adjuster right here that will adjust the speed at which the hydraulic system works. Here's our new shift boot. We've already took the grease gun and we squirted a little grease in there. We're gonna rub that grease around just a little bit, and we'll remove the shift knob. Just unscrew this guy, slip off our crusty old, look at that, nasty. Look at the new one. Let's compare the two. You know you're getting water in through that big hole right there. You just know it, okay? So, toss that guy to the side, wipe this one off a little bit, and we'll slip this boot right over top of the shift knob. Perfect. Now we should not have water entering our transmission anymore. You can also leave a bucket over top of both of these shifters, and that will help too. Cool? This is a once every 5 to 10 year job right here that needs to be done on these old tractors. This is probably the original rubber boots that were on here. The last thing we're gonna do is get rid of this crusty steering wheel that is actually dangerous to use. Pieces of the steering wheel are flaking off of the wheel. So we've got a brand new fancy shiny steering wheel to go on this thing. Out with the old. Ooh, that came off way too easy. Oh, fingers crossed this isn't a... Well, it might just be that simple. I don't know. Don't want to damage this while I'm trying to take it out. All right, all the beating and banging, I figured it out. So I've got a pry bar underneath the steering wheel right here, and I just tapped the little keyway while I push with my elbow on the pry bar. And magically, I'm gonna drop this keyway, I know I am. It's tapered, so that's what's making it, there it is. Okay, so the keyway isn't square, it's like a half moon shape. That got it off though, woohoo! Bye! Now I know what to do. If you need to replace the steering wheel on your tractor, now you know what to do also. So this little keyway, it rocks back and forth in here. So you mash it, I'll get you a close-up. So this is the keyway. You take this keyway and it comes out, it's a little half moon shaped keyway, and you mash it into place right there, and then your steering wheel has a taper in the hole right here. So we'll line up the keyway with the notch right here in the steering wheel, slip it over top, and then the keyway rocks up into the steering wheel, right, just like that, and then it sets in place. Okay guys, so that's why you have milky transmission fluid in your tractor. You've got some water in your transmission or in your hydraulic area. That water will do some damage, so if you've got that, if you're going out and you're looking for a good used tractor, always check. Take that little cap off and run your finger around in there after the tractor's ran for a little bit, and make sure that it's not really milky like that. If it is really milky like that, buyer beware. That's all I can say. Keep these old tractors in a shed and you won't have to worry about that. Don't let them get wet. Don't let them get water in them. But if you wash the tractor, it's going to get water in it. So keep everything greased and keep those rubber boots replaced if they go bad. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me today. That's why your hydraulic fluid or your transmission fluid in your tractor is milky. Okay? Hope you learned something. Hope you had some fun. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Be sure you pound that like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back. We got some tilling to do. Yeah.
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge, bring your wife and bring your